If you're choosing your first dog based on how cute the dog is, stop. Choosing the wrong dog doesn't just make your life harder, it creates a lot of problems for the dog too. People always ask me, what's the best dog for a first-time dog owner? And the truth is it varies. And that's not really the question that you should be asking yourself. The question that you should be asking yourself is, what dog best fits my lifestyle? I work with a lot of dog owners who come in, and honestly, the biggest problem that they have is they don't have the right dog that matches their lifestyle. And when you don't do that, it creates a lot of problems for the dog, and the dog is going to fulfill themselves in ways that you don't like. For example, I work with a ton of herding dogs, and herding dogs, to be honest with you, just are not a good fit for the general public most of the time. I also work with a lot of dogs who are guardian breeds, such as your Cane Corsos or your German Shepherds or your Mastiffs. And these are dogs that are also just too much dog for people because these are dogs that require a ton of strong leadership. You have to be able to know your stuff and put in boundaries very clearly, very consistently, or those dogs will walk right over you. So picking the right dog for your lifestyle that best matches you as a person and what you do is critical. One common misconception is that I will get a dog that's going to get me into shape. The dog is going to make me work out more. I'm going to go for runs with them. I'm going to exercise with them. And that's just not the truth. The dog is not going to create the lifestyle that you want. That's just magic, and that doesn't happen. So what you should be asking yourself is, okay, how much do I like to go for walks with my dog? Am I able to commit to that every single day? Am I able to play with my dog every single day? Or am I more fit for a dog that likes to kind of go for a slow stroll around the neighborhood, who likes to play every other day? Those are the questions that you need to be asking yourself. Another misconception is that you should get a puppy as a first-time dog owner, and I really couldn't recommend that less. And the reason is that puppies require a ton of work. They are needing of constant supervision. They need way more patience and structure than most people realize. And they need you to basically be able to adjust your life to them for the next couple of months. Most people can't do that. Most people work a normal job, or they work a lot of hours, or they have kids, or they have other commitments, and it doesn't allow them the time that they need to dedicate to their puppy. And what happens is the puppy grows up with not enough structure, not enough leadership. The dog becomes problematic, learns about bad behaviors because you just didn't have the time necessary to commit to raising a good dog. Potty training is the number one example I can think of with this. When you get a puppy, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 14 weeks, whatever, this dog cannot hold its bladder or its bowels for more than like 30 minutes. Most people don't have the ability to take their dog out every 30 minutes because they have other obligations in their life. The downside of that is that your dog has numerous accidents. It learns that going inside the house is pretty normal, so you end up delaying potty training. Potty training should only take a few weeks, but it ends up taking people months, if not years. The last common misconception is that a small dog is an easy dog, and again, that's not true. The size of the dog does not equal the difficulty of the dog. Just because it's small doesn't mean it doesn't need training. Your dog's energy level and needs matter far more than the dog's size. The best question that you can honestly ask yourself is, what dog fits my lifestyle? How active are you? Do you have time to commit to this? If the dog needs training, do you have the time and the energy to dedicate yourself there? Do you have the resources to commit to that? Can you afford training if you need it? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself as a first-time dog owner. How active are you right now? How much structure are you able to provide for your dog? And most importantly, I think, what do you want to do with your dog? Do you want a dog that just needs to casually stroll around the block? Do you want a dog that needs intense exercise? Do you want a dog that goes for runs with you? Those are the questions that you should be asking yourself. Here are 3 breed recommendations varying in size that could be a good fit for you as a first-time dog owner. Now, a note here is that these are not guarantees. Every dog is different, but these breeds are typically a good fit for first-time dog owners. If you are looking for a small dog, a good fit for you could be the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Now, these dogs are really sweet. They typically love people. They love strangers coming in. They don't really mind with that. They don't have a ton of energy in order to be fulfilled, and they're pretty adaptable to a lot of different environments. Now, just because they have all of those amazing qualities doesn't mean you don't need to train them, and doesn't mean that you don't need to put in boundaries and structures in order for them to be successful. Every dog, regardless of size, needs boundaries, structure, and limits in order to be successful in the long run. If you're looking for a medium-sized dog, you really can't do any better than a Labrador Retriever. These are dogs that really do want to do well. They want to learn new things. They want to work with you. They want to listen to you. They are quick learners, and they do really do well in social settings. They're sociable. But again, with all these good qualities doesn't mean that you don't have to train them. I see a ton of labs who have no rules. These are the dogs that you typically see that are like, oh, it's okay, it's friendly. These are dogs that don't respect boundaries of the doorway. They get out all the time. They are completely underfulfilled. And a lot of times people just love to feed these type of dogs. The reality check is that labs can be absolutely amazing dogs, but underfulfilled labs can create a lot of problems. These are the dogs that are going to be counter surfing. These are the dogs that are going to be bolting out of the house because they love people. These are dogs that are going to be really reactive on walks because they love other dogs and other people. So again, just because they are good dogs and they have a good disposition doesn't mean they don't need training. And last but not least, if you are looking for a large breed dog as a first-time owner, a Newfie, a Newfoundland. Despite their size, this is a dog that doesn't need a ton of exercise in order to feel good. They do need boundary, structure, and limitation just like every other dog, but at the same time, you don't need to be exercising this dog for hours upon hours every single day. Now, the reality check for this dog is that these are dogs that are really large. They do take up a lot of space. They drool, and they do need consistent grooming. If those don't bother you, then a Newfie could be a good fit for you. Here are a few dogs that I definitely wouldn't recommend as a first-time dog owner. Some examples of dogs to be cautious with as a first-time dog owner are border collies, any type of herding dog, which is like Australian Shepherd, cattle dog, any type of guardian or protection breed, such as a Cane Corso, a Mastiff, a Doberman. These are dogs that are a lot of dog, and they are true dogs. They need jobs, they need specific fulfillment, and they need really, really strong leadership and boundaries. As a first-time dog owner, you're probably going to learn what all of that means and how to implement that. So I would recommend getting a dog that's a little bit easier for the first time. Now, I know this from firsthand experience. When I adopted my dog Booker, I already have 3 large dogs, so I figured, why not? Let's add another large dog into the mix. But I just wasn't ready for him at that time. And it was not his fault. He was exactly who he was supposed to be. He was a 1-year-old Cane Corso who was suspicious of strangers, didn't really have any impulse control, didn't really want to be very social with people on walks. He was just a lot of dog. He was taking advantage of me and my wife all the time just because we were just so inconsistent. And with a large, powerful breed like him, those mistakes, we didn't have room for that. He was incredibly reactive on the leash. He was just, exactly who he's supposed to be, but I didn't know that going in. So we made a lot of mistakes with him, and in order to become what he needed, I had to basically change my entire profession. So unless you're willing to drop everything that you're going to do and become a dog trainer and a dog behavior specialist like me, I definitely recommend getting a dog that's a little bit easier for you on your first go around. A final takeaway is that you should not pick the dog for who you want to become. You should pick the dog for who you are right now. That is what's going to lead you to success. Also, you don't have to get a puppy just because you're getting a dog for the first time. Most likely, an adult dog is going to be a much better fit for you temperament-wise. If this helped, please hit subscribe. If you have any questions about what dog or what breed is going to be a good fit for you, drop a comment and I'll give you an honest answer. I'm the Big Dog Guy, and I'll see you in the next one.